Good morning, class 6. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing great. The winter has set in, it's quite cold, and I enjoy the winter and hope you are enjoying the winter. But please do keep warm and take care of yourselves and be safe. And hope you enjoyed your holidays and your Chhat Puja. Had a wonderful time. So now it's back to studies again. So we are on course book 6 of class 6 course book, right? So it's class 6 obviously. So we are on the unit 6 of the that big round ball is called earth. And the writers about this of centrist 1 fiction of this chapter is Jack Richards and James Feldman. That big round ball is called earth. It's a fiction type of thing, science fiction. Human beings have an inane curiosity to explore the unknown. Do you wonder how it would be to explore the other planets, stars, and galaxies? Imagine if you were to visit one of the other galaxies in a spacecraft. How would you feel embarking on this new adventure? Let us read about a team of people who boarded a spacecraft that took them complete to a new galaxy. Now, a group of people, aliens or someone else not from our earth, as far as I think this is, human beings, we are inane, we are always wanting to, curiosity, what to explore, what is that, we come to know. So, characters in the play is number 1 is, narrator 1 also plays Mr. Sotelo. Number 2 also plays a voice tape. Grant Carter is the crew member, Michelle Carter a crew member, Don Chan crew member also plays Mr. Chan, Margaret Chan crew member, John Fermi captain, Pauline Sotelo crew member, Peter Bibikov executive officer also plays Mr. Bibikov. Narrator 1 is also plays Mr. Sotelo. In the year 2100, the spaceship Centaurus 1 left Earth and headed for its nearest galactic neighbor, Centaurus Proxima. 2100. This is 2000 going on, 2020. In 2100. We are going before time. We are passing this time and going into the future. Problems on earth had grown so great that many people doubted man's ability to survive. So much of problems were happening on the earth. So people thought, are they going to survive or not? We don't know. So Centaurus 1 provided with all things needed to educate, feed and entertain a new crew numbering 100 people. The present generation, the 17th, has lost identification with its ancestors as well as with the original purpose of the trip. To the people aboard, the ship has become their world. The closer they come to their destination, the more unbearable becomes the thought of giving up their security for an alien life. Now the spacecraft provided everything: food to eat, education, entertain a crew member of 100 people. It's a new life. They have left the earth and they are headed for the galaxies to another planet to go and see if they could survive there. And it says that present generation, the 17th, has lost identification with its ancestors. The present generation is nothing, it's lost identification, nothing to do with their past. Everything has changed, as well as with the original purpose of the trip. To the people aboard, the ship has become their world. Everything is there inside the ship. The closer they come to their destination, the more unbearable becomes the thought of giving up their security for an alien life. Then they're going to go to a new place, aliens, you don't know what's going to happen. They have to survive a new life. Narrator 2 is also plays a voice on tape. It is now October 25, 92. This is a voice on tape. You are on the Earth ship Centaurus 1, which is 492 years away from Earth on its journey to the solar system of Centaurus Proxima. As the play opens, some members of the crew are involved in a serious conversation. Grant. Who is Grant here? We don't see any Grant. Grant, loudly. I have said it again and again. We must go back before it's too late. Michelle. We will never return back as long as Captain Fermi is in command. Dawn. I agree, he is impossible to reason with. Grant. Then we will not try to reason with him. We will use force to make the ship to take the ship from him. Don't you know that tomorrow we reach PNR? What is PNR here? I am not understanding. PNR must be the Proxima, the Centaurus Proxima or something. What do you mean by PNR? Margaret is asking. Grant, you have been aboard the ship all these years and haven't heard about the point of no return. PNR, the point of no return. Tomorrow at 1400 hours we reach that point in our journey from which there cannot be no turning back. At this time we come under the influence of the gravitational pull of Centaurus. Once that happens, we can never leave. You know, gravitational pull in the earth also you have. Whatever you throw up comes down. Like that, at 2 o'clock the next day they will be going into that gravitational pull. Centaurus Proxima is going to pull them towards them. After that they cannot turn back and come back to earth. Margaret, but isn't that our mission? It was our ancestors' missions, not ours. We inherited a 500-year-old dream. Michelle, but it was a worthy dream, wasn't it? Margaret, it was their gift to us, a new world. Grant, but they have not offered us a new world. They have offered us their hope for a new world. Even if the new world is able to support life, which is not likely, can it be better than the one we have? We are comfortable and safe aboard the ship and we enjoy a good life. Would you give this up for the unknown? Dawn, not. It's not a gamble I want to take. Captain, voice over the intercom. Attention, attention, everyone report to the main lounge immediately. Narrator 2. As the ship's company enter the main lounge, they see Captain Fermi and his executive officer Peter Bibikov seated at the speaker's platform. Weird type of people, see. Captain, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Pause. When I took command of Centaurus 1, I was instructed to open this sealed box the day before PNR, point of no return. I am doing so now. There is nothing here but this spool. Of tape. Well, I will play it. You understand that this box was sealed when the ship left Earth. No one has heard it since then. I will put it on the machine now. Narrator 2. In a hurried, frightened voice to the crew Centaurus 1. We have this final message from our ancestors. We must all speak quickly because there is no much time left. The people assembled here are the parents of those who are leaving the earth today. First to speak is Mr. Chan. I am sending my son and my name into space because neither will continue here on earth. Oh, please keep us alive on your new planet. Here we are starving, the world is overflowing with people, there is no loom left to grow food. And that which we grow is taken from us by wild bands of starving humanity. Please keep life going. Mr. Biblikov, hoarsely, in a rough voice. I'll come back in the next video.